the great conspiracy people.
Am I sweating a little bit? I
Oh,
still didn't figure out what's the great conspiracy, but Jacob
well,
always
we're
have
not.
some conspiracy.
Oh no, this is a much larger conspiracy. Don was like, let's talk about Prop 72, and I was like, Don, Prop 72 is irrelevant. Okay, so you see, the Federal Reserve has these levers. Okay, they go, "Woo, woo, woo." Now the European Central Bank, they seem to have their own levers. But I'd say that the U.S. Federal Reserve has the largest set of levers. And the thing that I'm concerned about is that okay, here's oh hello Cookie. Cookie has come to join us. Um,
Already,
anyway,
already someone joining us.
what Cookie? Yes. Um, anyhow,
Mhm.
all right. So we have these levers, okay, all over the economy for the past what is it, 20 years or so? Well, in 2008, we had an attempt to make money not free. We all know how that went. It wasn't good. And so the majority of the time, money is free. But here's the problem, Marcin. The problem is money isn't free, right? It takes sorry, Cookie. There. It's gonna, move her over to the other side there. All right. So money is not free. But we make it free. How do we make it free? Well, basically, in the United States, we have a system where the closer you stand to the spigot, which craps money into the economy, well, the freer that money is. Okay, and what this does is it perverts the entire U.S. economy, the largest one in the world, sort of,
It is,
toward
it is, it is largest. It is largest
sort
economy.
of. I know you're a U.S. maxi, but
Uh,
maybe I can get you out of it. But then
who's larger economy, and how do you measure the largest economy? Who
yeah, I
has the
mean,
larger influence? Do you mean China? Like the GDP
well,
of China,
yeah, but
15
the
trillion,
trouble is,
15
hang
trillion,
on, China has their own set of levers, okay, and the
and
problem is
and
actually the levers, not and of course the price of money. Um, I mean, are you familiar at all with the concept of the time value of money?
no, I
Okay.
actually don't know much, and many people try to school me on the Twitter. Um,
Mm,
that I don't
you need to read
understand.
Bitcoin
And
Standard.
well, so because I'm opposing Bitcoin standard, and I'm not so sure that the Bitcoin standard will happen. I mean, I
No, but
understand the
you need to read the book. You really need to read the book.
title.
Actually, so it's a book. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. The author, little bit of an asshole, but really really smart. And I say that because I've actually met the author. Um, but I think he'd probably openly admit to being an asshole. Um, anyhow, to sum up well, I mean the Bitcoin Standard is it just digs into Austrian economics, um, and the concept of time preference, right? Um, how I like, just for example, I save almost everything, right? So like my monthly spending is this house, which we rent, um, and what we spend to operate the business, and then food and blah 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 blah. But let's just say I'm cheap. I ride $180 motorcycle. Okay. Now why is that? Well, because I save. Okay. And I save and I save and I save and I save and I save. How do I save? Well, I save some in Bitcoin. Not enough actually. I'm an opportunistic Bitcoin buyer. So like I will purchase when it's really down, and otherwise I do not. Um, I guess that tells you a little bit about my my view on it because even when Bitcoin's at its lowest, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll take some more of that, please. The last time I bought Bitcoin was April 2020. I'm gearing up for another similar play now. Although another one that
Did you catch it at 3.5K? I exactly remember the moment when it happened. I was in Krakow on the trip with my then girlfriend and now wife and my friend, and the Bitcoin did have this kind of flash crash. I was actually buying Atom. This is the
3,850.
moment when I was buying Atom. The lowest I bought Atom, I believe, was $130.
Nice, nice.
So, but I bought it through the period of like 3 months. So I
Yeah,
remember this flash crash and Bitcoin
there was
going
a
to
really
like.
great buying opportunity there.
Mhm.
The lowest I bought Bitcoin was, well, I purchased it in 18 at 3,180, and then in 2020 at 3,8. Uh, pretty good. Anyhow, all right. So saving. But why not saving dollars? Well, they just keep making more dollars. And as far as I can tell, what you can buy with $1 keeps reducing. Okay. You were talking about currency dominance. You were saying, oh, the US dollar will likely be the dominant world currency. I'm not certain of that. I also been doing cryptocurrency for long enough. I can't really say that Bitcoin has destiny. Some people do, right? They'll say, Bitcoin is just absolutely destined to be the world's finest money. Certainly, that's the argument of Saifedean Ammous, and he's the author of that book, The Bitcoin Standard, which you should definitely read.
Mm-hmm.
Saifedean would criticize all these Cosmos assets. I actually spoke to him about Cosmos when I had dinner with him. And his point of view on it, it's just another shit coin. But I think the key thing is, right?
You
Really,
lagged. You dropped for a moment. Some issue with internet connection, but you are coming back
am I
now.
back? We good? Okay. So I was looking at them as monies, and I don't believe they're monies. I don't believe these Cosmos assets are money the same way that Bitcoin is. Okay. The stuff that we work on in Cosmos, these chains that we both validate, if they were trying to be money, well, they're really terrible at it. Why? The inflation rates are too high. What, you think they are monies?
So over time, but I will let you speak all of that. I come to realization that Atom could be great money. Of course, it's so small and this
Mm,
idea is so crazy, but Atom serves better purpose as money than Bitcoin.
mm.
With
Look,
its
so
inflation,
much of that,
I'm
hang on, so much of
I'm
that is going to depend on Atom as a platform. Okay. But you got to keep in mind that Bitcoin's not a platform. Bitcoin doesn't try to do anything. And that's actually why I have such significant faith in Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin is not trying to add features. Bitcoin is not trying to, really do much of anything other than move unspent transaction outputs around. that's that's all it is, right? That and neat triple entry bookkeeping, um, which does have privacy implications. And I should another more monetary asset that I'm really into is Monero. I apologize for any angle issues. I'm being horrifically lazy today. So Monero is also that's another, in my opinion, very interesting crypto asset, and probably as of today, the only one with fully functioning privacy. I suspect that's gonna change.
Why
Uh,
not Zcash? I kind of like Zcash, but it's quite centralized maybe. And Zcash going proof of stake actually.
um, well, okay. So Zcash now is not proof of stake. Zcash now is like,
Proof of work, yeah.
well, you take the Bitcoin source code, you change the hashing, you add privacy and the turnstile bug. You know about the turnstile bug?
No.
You don't know about the turnstile bug.
I know nothing. I'm complete ignorant. I'm the biggest crypto ignorant.
No, nobody knows how many Zcash
In
are.
opposition to the crypto masters and the big heads of crypto, I'm at best master of nothing, and that's the
But why would we put you in opposition to that? That
that's
don't make
that's the
any sense.
idea of Don Kryptonium. Abandon the ego of crypto people. Bring the
But your
hope.
logo is a giant muscular guy and look kind of egotistical.
Because the hero needs to be strong and bring hope to people. This is just the symbol. So Don Kryptonium is the symbol of hope for people. It's symbol that you too, Jacob, can be a hero. That's the idea behind Don Kryptonium. It's absolutely beautiful. It's the
But
biggest symbol of hope of the crypto space.
okay. Hey, good morning, Dave. Yeah, we're just having a chat here today, actually, on macroeconomics. Okay, but I wanted to get into the Great Conspiracy, and somehow we've gotten off the Great Conspiracy. All right, here's the thing: money is not free. Money costs at least, say, 6% a year. Okay, that's just how it is. That's reality. And but we bandy about this idea that if you're one of several blessed banks, money can be free for you because you're special. I don't know if you remember my critique of like the ICF delegations. You know, like, well, they're special. Those are special validators. The market doesn't apply to them. Well, same thing. But let's talk about scale because sure, I'm vehemently opposed to that. Okay. But sadly, it doesn't matter because the Federal Reserve perverts the world economy to the tune of, tens or hundreds of billions daily, sometimes trillions daily. And the United States is looking insolvent, but it sort of doesn't matter. The United States continues to bother people about personal income taxes while producing all the money needed to, not only run the United States, but also run quite the global military. Not to mention all the other stuff that the United States spends money on that isn't, let's say, directly related to the United States. Okay. But Jacob, that's xenophobic. No, I don't think so. As you were saying, America is
But
quite
it's
noble.
private banks who print the money, isn't it? You said US. It's not really. So
Yeah, well,
I'm checking.
The Federal Reserve is a private bank. You see, this is not good. And you're probably only scratching the surface here on Google right now. Okay. The book that you need to read on this is the Bitcoin Standard. Okay. Which gets into like what's the nature of money, what makes money remain valuable over time, what's the relationship between time and money. I view time and money as almost the same thing, by the way. Like money is sort of a compressed form of time. And really like okay, well, you can't buy like additional years on your life in money, although that's not exactly true. I mean, because you kind of can. Um, my father's on his second liver. I think that surgery cost a hell of a lot of money. If he didn't have really great health insurance, I don't think he could have had it. You know. Um, but that I mean, and then that's just one small example. Anyway, so I
Mhm.
view money as like compressed time. Um, and this idea that money can come from nowhere, I think that's really toxic.
Mhm.
But then even more so that institutions should be encouraged to lend money to other institutions at near zero or even sometimes below zero rates.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Jacob,
mhm,
I want to stop you here.
yeah,
So, just the moment that you said, isn't it good thing about the US dollars?
I'm still
This
here, by
fact
the
that,
way. Hmm.
sorry,
Oh, I'm still here. Yep.
that you can lend money, institutions can lend money to other institutions at low rates, sometimes maybe even negative rates. Isn't
Yeah.
it good thing?
No. Because these financial policies are done in a way that favors some over others. If you wanted to go and borrow money, they're going to charge you money for that money. Oh, boop! Right
Jacob, I'm
there,
too
Putman.
stressed. I can't believe the Poopmos is in my chat.
Oh well,
I'm too.
I mean,
Uh,
he's
But
a
by
good
the
puppy.
way, I'm feeling more and more pressure because like I was this like very small guy making content, and suddenly like I get in the people respond to me, which brings a lot of
Well, I
pressure.
mean, you're the best interviewer in Cosmos.
Thank you, but
Yeah,
what I wanted to see,
that's why
because
Puffles is coming on here saying love.
I heard opinion, and so like I'm trying to be in crypto. I'm trying to see
Hmm.
crypto Twitter. After that, I'm going to YouTube and I'm listening to macro guys. And then I go to listen on interviews and interviews. And I heard the statement that the way how US dollar, this system that we have, that the money is so flexible and forever expendable,
Hmm.
it serves its purpose. The fact you can get a loan, get the mortgage on the interest rate that you can play out in your own favor on like 25-year repayment, and you can use this credit to create the value with your investment that will be more valuable than the fiat money that you will have to repay, and that this credit system essentially allows you, the regular person, to build the wealth, and not the fact that this US dollar is not a commodity but forever expandable money that you can loan and build and create the wealth yourself and pass the wealth to others. While if this money would be restrictive, I hope I'm still making sense, and not
Well, yeah,
expandable,
but
not as
okay, here's the thing. I
flexible,
mean,
you would
it's
keep the
restricted.
power.
Right, it's being restricted right now with
So
the
how
raises in
Bitcoin
interest
wouldn't
rates.
be restrictive? This is the problem I have. Like, so there is, I tell you my
Well,
concerns with
you
the,
can borrow Bitcoin.
but it makes more money for to hold Bitcoin than to spend and invest Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is not expandable. So I'm trying to understand, because I'm stupid guy. I don't
Well,
understand
okay, so
money.
I mean, what you're expressing, just so you know, what you're expressing is called Keynesian economics. Okay, um, which I am not a fan or proponent of. And Keynesian economics definitely looks at the economy as something to be shaped. Okay. Um, Personally, that's not the point of view that I take. Um, if you were to go back to, in the United States history, around when the Federal Reserve was created, um, some really good cartoons were made. And one of them, it showed this octopus with its arms out in all the major institutions of society. And it was just eating all the money, sucking everything out of it. And the wealth that you saw in New York City, my opinion, is actually as a result of that machine. Um, and this central banking system um, has been replicated over and over and over all around the world. And I don't think that it typically has good results for people because you see, economic conditions, at least some of them, for example, in my opinion, the supply of money or value, you really want those as stable as
Mhm.
possible. I view current economic events, okay, so $5 gasoline, even the propensity to warfare that we have globally as a result of the perversion of money. Um, Now, keep in mind that this gets way too damn philosophical. Okay, like it's hard to action on, and while I do think that like Bitcoin or Monero, these are, in my opinion, technological attempts to action on this problem. Not really certain that we're trying to do that. Certainly not in every case in Cosmos, right? This notion of cutting off atom inflation, for example, as the
I'm I'm
mhm,
opposing that. I'm opposing that.
you're
I
opposing that.
want I because we are in early stages and the current level of inflation
Oh,
is
well, I mean, I think we're years
just
out.
on point. Like if Cosmos Hub will have adoption of 5 billion people, then maybe we can talk about cutting up inflation. But it's important to allow it to be liquid, expendable, and allow other chains to connect and be this. And with that, with this inflation, that's with this flexibility and expansion, which is similar to fiat currency, this is why I actually start to believe in that Atom is the better money than the Bitcoin. Because I don't know, maybe money is the economy, right? And around Bitcoin, I feel it's more difficult to build the economy because Bitcoin is also kind of not upgradable. And as Atom is upgradable, you can connect many other chains to the Cosmos Hub, and that would include Ethereum. So with that, here is the Cosmos, and here is the expanding economy. So
Right.
we could actually create this hub economy around the Atom standard, which would be
Sure.
this kind of hub money. And I
Well,
started viewing the Atom, which is very difficult to do with Bitcoin, because my question is
mhm,
how the lowest class of society, the 99% of the world,
they don't.
is benefiting from Bitcoin standard. They are not benefiting from
Mm,
Bitcoin standard.
well,
They are
uh,
in fact getting
yes.
poorer on Bitcoin standard. These people
No,
will be getting poorer
I
on
disagree with you.
Bitcoin standard because
I disagree with
Bitcoin,
you.
as the commodity, will make the
But yeah, but
biggest holders of
what you're
Bitcoin.
forgetting is like the fundamental value of people. Um, so like, under a Bitcoin standard, no, I mean, I don't actually think that they get poorer, um, because,
What's
people
the
value
best
people.
value of
Yes, the
Bitcoin?
next
Holding
terrorism,
Bitcoin, holding
is
Bitcoin.
artificial intelligence. The next terrorism is artificial intelligence. That shit is really scary. Um, I don't know if you've read the interview with the Google sentient AI,
Yeah,
but
I read it. I don't know if it's sentient, you say, or it's just
I
like, because the, you know, software is very powerful. What if the software just like analyze the human language and can actually form the responses based
well,
on
I
how
mean,
humans
well,
communicate? So,
that's what it basically did. But then it was saying it had feelings, and it then went and it described those feelings, including like fear of being shut off. I
but
don't know.
because humans describe it this way, so
No,
if there
I
would
mean,
be AI,
it was describing itself. Um, that was very clear.
like the, if AI would analyze the lives and conversations of few people, like, say, let's say me, you, someone with very different experiences, and it will happen, the AI will be able to write the most emotional books ever, because it will be able to analyze what actually make humans emotions emotional, what it makes you feel. Because if you would create something, you only rely on your own experiences, but the
Well, yeah, well, I mean,
advantage of the AI.
I assume that's how it ended up feeling that it had emotions. Okay. Anyway, though, I want to jump back into the Great Conspiracy. I want to
Mhm.
say that, like, maybe you're right about Adam as money, and I want to ask a question to anybody in the audience. Pupper, feel free to chime in here. Actually, thinking about. Good morning, Zero X ETH. I'm thinking about making a governance proposal that raises the community pool tax on the hub. Doesn't change inflation at all. Just
What's the
increase
tax
the
there? I
tax.
didn't know.
It's
I
five
look.
percent. I think it's five.
So
I'd like to
from
see it at 10.
inflation.
Yeah. Um, what it would do, that would reduce your validator earnings on the hub, my validator earnings on the hub, and also you know what our stakers earn as well. They did see about a well, right now they're receiving 95% of the flow, let's say. And they
How
then
about, so
mhm.
sorry.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
go
yeah.
on. It's not nice. I stop you. It's not nice. I
Oh,
stop you.
whatever. So we don't have too much time left, but like here's the basic premise here. Um, I don't want the Interchain Foundation to fund everything. I've spoken with the Interchain Foundation. They don't want to fund everything. They don't want to be in control of the hub. Okay. And then, by the way, of course, there's a conspiratorial view there of like, oh, they really do want to control the hub, and who knows, right? Um, but let's maybe change our tack for a second. Let's say, okay, both the ICF and Ignite, they really want to see the hub prosper. Okay, both organizations, and yeah, it seems like that Ignite is getting real serious with Gnolang. That's also fine by me, actually. I don't mind. I like it, in fact. Um, but if neither organization wishes to exercise control, then the community pool becomes sort of the natural source of funding for initiatives. Um, and I do not think that it's large enough. Here's the deal. Like, one of the truths that's coming out of this debate, and I was in a chat earlier today. I forget who said this. It was some Juno related chat, and they were like, they should call that thing Lido Hub. And I was like, yes, they should. Um,
I'm speaking
but
to them
all of
on
this is
Wednesday.
good, good, because you're the best
Neutron
interviewer in the
guys.
cosmos. Good.
Yeah, I need to
I
prepare.
want that
Thank you.
very
I need to
much.
prepare some questions.
Will Vasily be on? Because
Sorry.
guys, no slouch. Vasily. Will Vasily be speaking with you?
No,
He's
it will be the lead
no,
dev of Neutron. Vasily is very busy. They told me there will be two guys during the
no,
live.
that's
So,
all right. Look,
mhm.
their crew is not slouches. And if I had to guess, probably one of them who's been following me around Twitter, if I had to guess, he's probably watching this video right now too. That's right. That's right, Dave. That's right. So one of the truths that came out of this, okay, and right now I'm voted no and voted no. I may also just go, screw it, yes. So that we have like, and look, I'll even be loose with my terming. It's so that we have a slush fund to put together interchain security and to bring products to market using interchain security. Okay. And by the way, should anybody be watching this, I don't really mean that as a slur. That's kind of the nature of this proposal because it's not tracked toward any one product. It's tracked toward that multi-sig. That multi-sig is fine, by the way. Hi, multi-sig members, if you're watching. Like, that's not an objection that I have to Prop 72. So if I vote yes, it'll be because I want to fund this stuff and I want to see the hub investing in the hub's future, like instead of the Interchain Foundation investing in the hub's future, and instead of Ignite investing in the hub's future. But in order to do that, we need to have the community pool nice and, fat. While we are discussing, changing inflation, changing tokenomics, everything else, had a real with this guy named Yusuf about that. I think that a priority should be making sure that the hub can fund the hub, and that part of that, just if we're going to be good stewards of the hub, all of us, the validators, the delegators, everybody, we should make sure that the hub is well funded in terms of the community pool. I'm thinking about doing the same thing on Juno also.
Can I
The Juno
ask you?
community pool.
Can I? So there was Kava, very centralized chain, and I wonder what stops Hub of now inflation should be around 10-11% because the APR is like just over 18. So I would assume with the current staking, it should be around that.
To get the
probably 11% inflation.
I think you are
should
right.
be around.
10 or 11. Yeah. You take the bonding rate, and the APR paid to students is going to be like comparing the bonding rate to the.
So what stops the hub of increasing inflation to like 30% and doing 70% tax that will go to community fund? Essentially, doesn't really bring the.
That would be hard to explain. I wouldn't.
I mean, this is something. Though. This is the crazy thing that Kava did, and now they sit on hundreds of millions of dollars of spending. That doesn't bring really the. You don't have to do it. You can do it for 1 year, and then you make this juicy and then you make community fund in hundreds of millions of dollars. You can do it on Juno as well. The Juno Strangle, let's create this massive tax and like that.
Well,
that's some solution. Controversial.
Have a mutable the
tokenomics are set, and this is kind of not flexible. Which is with Cosmos Hub is flexible, and we could could we in the next 3 years like design the tokenomics and use the tax to actually try to get $2 billion in the community pool of Cosmos. With that, the Cosmos Hub is positioned to compete with the largest funds, right? Like,
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's possible.
$2 billion, but to answer your question, yeah, it's possible. Oh, good for you, Dave. Very good for you.
And also,
I wasn't involved in any of those CDFI projects either. But yeah, you don't want to be on exchanges right now. I don't think.
And
I'm hearing
also another thing. FTX. FTX is buying out everything now.
FTX
right?
is bad. Run.
FTX is like is
Run.
well positioned to become really the major control force and market maker of all crypto.
Run.
The news came that they exploring possibility of buying miners. They can.
Yeah.
This is
Run. Run.
and
Run.
this makes actually, does it even make crypto better that the current monetary system, if the crypto is so centralized around these few entities like FTX that are able to control and manipulate all the market? Do we trust them more than
Run.
Federal Reserve? What's the difference, right?
Oh, well, I
So
mean, okay. I trust Bitcoin more than the Federal Reserve.
no,
So,
by the you are safe on
yeah,
FTX.
yeah,
They're just
Oliver,
too rich.
I would say to run from FTX. Oliver, what you need to know about FTX is that FTX has been involved in a lot of really large dump on retail type incidents, and that they run and maintain bots that basically they facilitate these large scale, incremental, controlled dumps on retail. In my opinion, that's like their actual model. Carol, I don't know if you mean that's good or bad. I think Bezos did a lot of productive stuff for society. I think that Amazon is an incredible set of projects, and that AWS, love it or hate it, is really really good. But I feel differently about FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, and the reason that I feel differently about them is that you mean bad, okay. I don't really see them as the same though, because FTX is kind of founded on playing financial games really well. And once again, to anybody watching, I do want to say, please, standard. You will not agree with everything in the Bitcoin standard. The Bitcoin standard is an extremist piece of work. I don't agree with everything in the Bitcoin standard, but it's a really really good primer on like non-Keynesian or Austrian school economics. Oh shit. Um, Charles, I wouldn't. I
Try with
don't
new
know.
address, maybe. I
That
don't know.
that scares me. Are you Charles? I know that Coinbase just introduced like an outbound KYC feature. You may need to you may need to KYC your destination address, which of course is a really really good reason to take all of your atoms off of Coinbase forever. Oliver, Cato will come, but you know what? I don't actually think Cato is much of a solution either. And Oliver, that's all this stuff is how I ended up as rather an extremist with no bank account on Earth. And
Don't you?
like,
I want to say Coinbase has very high fees. It's like 3% on the card transaction unless you use the Coinbase Pro. I think you can use the bank,
yeah,
but
but you know, like,
Kraken, Kraken has
sure,
$20 fee. I like to use Kraken, so maybe wait sometimes and deposit the larger sum so you can pay a smaller fee. I think Kraken does really amazing job, and for me, Kraken is the best centralized custodian out there.
you know, um, hard for me to say, but Kraken's good. When we did the Bitcoin mine, they were much easier to work with than Coinbase. Way easier. And so that you guys know, for the mine, you know, we had to have all these. They weren't regular crypto exchange accounts, right? Like these were fancy, special, blessed ones that could do high volume, all this other stuff. And that was part of sort of making the mine even attractive to acquire. Was getting all of that stuff lined up. but it eventually worked, which is nice. So, use Coinbase by the bank card.
Jacob, you often talk like so you keep mentioning Bitcoin Standard, move to Bitcoin Standard, but as of now, so in order for Bitcoin to be this money that you actually speak, the Bitcoin has to become standard, but the Bitcoin is still not a standard. In fact, it's very meaningless size as of now. So what it would take for Bitcoin to become Bitcoin standard, I'm like, it's also doesn't
$1 million or more Bitcoin, plus more nation state adoption.
So $1 million, that would be difficult. That's like that's
why do you think I pick up Bitcoin every time the price goes way down?
So that's like 20 trillion market cap. So difficult. That would be like the major world asset.
What you need to understand is that this $20 trillion market cap that you're describing still makes it much smaller than the US dollar. Much smaller.
What's the size of the world global economy? It's like 100 trillion.
Okay, so yeah, but a lot of economic action happens without even the involvement of currencies, right? So a commodities market is a pretty good example of this, if you ask me. Yeah, Charles, I just be really careful with exchanges right now, and be careful with exchanges generally. I'm gonna give an extremist piece of advice. In your city, you may be able to find, like, maybe at your local Bitcoin meetup or something, somebody who's able to sell you coin in cash. That is a really good way to onboard, and it delinks you, and you may wish to be delinked, and that's like dark. Oh, well, hey Oliver, thank you. We take a pretty hard line on a lot of views at Notional, and I guess the reason of me, I used to operate a Bitcoin mine, and I got into cryptocurrency mainly from a philosophical perspective. That's actually why I'm shilling the Bitcoin Standard book right now, and I'm talking, the macro picture. Because what I find really distressing, I've been expecting cryptocurrency and the dollar to decouple for some time, or cryptocurrency and the wider world economy to decouple for some time, and I keep not seeing that happen. And then recently I've been forced to wonder, well, why is this? Why is this happening? Well, they changed the economic levers, right? They pull lever and said, okay, now money costs money again. If you want to incur a debt, even if you're a large bank, you will have to pay. So there's less money floating around, right? And so I guess if you're looking for that kind of like fiscally conservative representation in Cosmos, that's probably what you'll get with Notional. I'm not a social conservative, by the way. I don't really care what people do, but when it comes to the economy, I'm really conservative, like to see things as stable as possible. It's actually why I'm considering asking the hub to raise taxes. Again, my conversations with both the Interchain Foundation and Ignite lead me to believe that while both organizations wish to steward the hub, they want to.
So you want to raise taxes without raising inflation, or increase the inflation and increase the tax? Sorry,
just increase the taxes.
Okay.
Which may not be a super popular move, but like I try to pick apart what's true and what's not, right? And one truth of the discussion around 72 is that, the community pool on the hub actually is not large enough. And while I seriously I map 1-to-1 this neutron thing to Lido, okay? And a lot of that is conversations with notionals delegators, right? If notionals delegators view it that way, I kind of need to view it that way also. Um, one truth is it is not that big of a money ask. Do I think it should have been better structured? Yeah. Do I think that there could have been more clarity?
No, like I'm putting what the people say, but you can go on.
Yeah,
I
Joe, I am describing that's correct.
how much it goes to the community pool a year from the taxes? Do you know?
No, I don't. Not
How,
offhand.
how many
And
atoms? Because
actually,
even though maybe community pool is small, if there is good amount of money flowing from the tax, it might be like self-sustainable, right?
well,
So that's
that's exactly it. I now have to run. My alarm just went off for my next call, and oh, by the way, speaking of Crypto Tank, Marcin,
I
we need
I don't know
to
who's
figure
that
out a
actually.
time. Okay, so Crypto Tank, he does all of this TA work. Okay, and
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, I learned that he had copyrighted IBC Gang, and we had this conversation which kind of got derailed because osmosis went um, about like having governance actually administer the copyright IBC Gang. That was really really cool. And he runs a really neat Discord server. And Marcin, if I could make a request of like maybe the three of us do a show, I think that'd be
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
love that. Because I actually I completely do not um treat the TA as the any valuable source of information. And I heard one description that TA is like trying to drive to the destination, looking in the back window of your car, which is kind of good description of the TA.
kinda. He's good at it.
I
But
don't
keep
know.
in mind that
I don't know.
I have
I
friends
just didn't see.
who
I
fully
just
respect
didn't
his
see TA
mental
ever
analysis.
work. I didn't see TA ever work because there's as like you can do TA every day and present something, but it just doesn't. It
Hmm.
just I don't understand. It's just like like you can do one TA. You like having one chart. You can easily draw two scenarios, up or down.
Oh yeah. Well, but
So
it depends on it is kind of tea leaves stuff, but you might enjoy his approach. And I'm gonna run here, and everybody, please have a nice rest of your day because I'm gonna hop onto
Can
another
you
call.
guys quickly show me the crypto tank link? Maybe I saw him, maybe not. Like
Ah,
I really don't
his
like.
his his Twitter account is @ crypto tank.
And
See,
does he has
guys.
a YouTube channel or no?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes. And it might
Uh,
be called IBC Gang, and it might be called something else. But I know it is must run time. So I'll see ya.
yeah. Jacob. Thank you for
Mhm.
call. Actually, like the
Thank you.
more we talk, the more questions I had. Of course, we don't have all day. We could go with
Eh,
this. We could
book
go
me anytime.
into.
You're the best interviewer in Cosmos.
Thank you. Don't be too sweet for me because I will get that big head. Like some people. So thank you for everyone
I'm
who
gonna do
appeared
it anyway.
here, and we will speak next time. Okay, he left. Let me see your comment, and I'm going to leave. Yeah, I understand. Some people claim that. Some people claim that the TA works. I'm just not into this. So the reason I so maybe school of the like George Soros, right, which is very non-TA, but I feel this way of speculation is more successful, right? Like you look at the more at the events that play out in the world. So, for example, when the war in Ukraine started, um, soon after that we had Bitcoin going up to like 42,000 or something, right? Because the rhetoric was that there is a lot of sanctions coming, so that's benefit for the Bitcoin. Did not necessarily could be predicted on the charts, but it could be predicted by looking at the events and that the rhetoric play out. So I like to look, instead of looking at the charts, I prefer to look at this sort of rhetoric. What could play out with these events, with how people think. So, and the same way I feel of like looking at the stable coins, right? So we have two major stable coins now, which is USDC and USDT. USDC is this trusted source backed by the Wall Street, maybe even the maybe even get government entities tap its fingers into this, right? And right now it's not as big. We can see the CoinGecko, sorry, USDC. So market cap 55 billion. So which is just below Tether at 66, but with much less volume. So w- w- many people say that the Tether is not backed. So what's the thinking here? Who, when the market will get bad and the Tether, like there was some doubts recently, when the market will get bad soon, at some point we could expect someone will want to test Tether, so someone will want to massively short it, and there will be massive withdrawals, and then you can see if Tether is actually backed or not. Like if this happen, if they are able to survive this sort of testing, it means okay, seems we can't really do it to Tether because they are able to redeem into United States dollars, but many people claim they are not backed. So what if they cannot redeem? That starts this downtrend, and the Tether is collapsing. It opens huge like new market because we need the stable coin liquidity. So I assume USDC is grabbing this part of the Tether market with the big players. All it takes is some big hedge funds. You have BlackRocks and stuff. And how big is the market? $1 trillion in 5 years, maybe. That's like 30 billion on the cash deposits yield. So that's what I would think would happen to the stable coins. Can I see it on the charts? Not. It's just like simple thinking what could happen. Yeah, like so there is many tools. That's a good point. TA can be used as the one of many tools, but let's not follow blindly that. Yeah, that's exactly my point. So by the way, I changed the YouTube thumbnail into Almighty. Um, so nothing really. Easy talk with Jacob. Maybe quite cool. You can rewind, but you probably did not miss on anything special if you don't rewind and watch. I'm actually leaving now. Um, Thinking what to do with my day. Maybe I will go cycling. I don't do horses today, so it's all day off. I'm thinking what to do with the rest of my day. Had two coffees. In 1 hour, probably gonna eat my first meal. So like just everyone, whoever Dave, you must be somewhere from New York area, like the East Coast, because it's very early at your place. Yeah. Thank you everyone, and bye. Thank you for joining.